Someone wrote this song before, and I could tell you where it's from.
Surprise, Sydney, and welcome back to The Evil Within, the only podcast where we peel back the mask on killers, villains, and everything that goes bump in the night. Today, we're tackling a case that still has Miami locals locking their doors and whispering in dive bars: the Bay Harbor Butcher. Officially, the case is closed. The story is neat, clean, tied up with a bow. Sergeant James Dokes, ex-military, short-tempered, not exactly Mr. Rogers, was revealed as the butcher and conveniently died before he could stand trial. But come on, if you're listening to this podcast, you already know this story does not add up at all. So today, we're going in deep, nerd style, into the theories, the cover-ups, and why some people think the Bay Harbor Butcher is still out there, maybe even listening to this right now. The Bay Harbor Butcher burst onto the scene when police finding out dozens of garbage bags floating in the water, like some sort of horrifying murder pinata. Inside, neatly chopped up bodies. And that's the thing, neatly. Whoever did this, they weren't sloppy. This wasn't chaos, this was precision. Now, the official line says it was Sergeant Dokes, but let's think about it. Dokes was a blunt instrument. He was all fists, guns, and yelling at coworkers. You're telling me this dude had the patience to set up plastic wrap, kill rooms, label trophies, and dismember bodies like a surgeon? Yeah, right. Like, that's saying the Hulk is secretly great at origami. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Many theorists believe the Bay Harbor Butcher wasn't just killing at random, he had a code. His victims were almost always criminals themselves: drug dealers, rapists, murderers who slipped through the cracks, and in other words, the butcher was targeting people the system couldn't or wouldn't touch. Sounds noble, right? Like some twisted superhero. But think about the mindset. He wasn't just killing bad guys, he was curating his kills, collecting trophies. Some say he even kept little glass slides with his victims' blood on them. I don't know about you, but that's not justice. That's Pokemon, but way more illegal. Gotta catch them all, but also hide the bodies. All right, so now let's talk theory. The one some fans whisper in the shadows. Even his coworkers have said this, that Dexter Morgan was the Bay Harbor Butcher, and Dokes was just the unlucky pasty. Yes, I'm about to put on my tinfoil hat, but you know I look good in one. First off, Dexter's MO matches almost exactly what we saw with the Bay Harbor Butcher. Dismemberment, placing bodies in black trash bags, sealing them with duct tape, plastic wrap work, and dumping them off boats in the ocean. That's not close enough. That's, hey, somebody copied my signature. Then there's the blood slide collection. Dexter keeps glass slides stained with a drop of each victim's blood. These appear on his desk and become a big clue. During the Bay Harbor Butcher investigation, a box of blood slides is found in Dokes' car and used to pin guilt on him. But why would Dexter, like Dokes' car, have those slides or let them get planted? It's just the ability to manipulate evidence. Frank Lundy, the FBI investigation or the FBI agent investigating the case, repeatedly makes comments that hints he suspects someone more inside than Dokes. He criticizes sloppy blood work, also pointed out questions about Dexter's lab work, and even notices habits and details. Like the dock used to dump bodies being the same marina where Dexter keeps his boat, Slice of Life. Those aren't just throwaway lines if you're building up a case. Dokes is set up to look exactly like what law enforcement expects a serial killer to be like: volatile, secretive, background in special ops, all traits that make up someone seem dangerous in hindsight. Dexter uses that to his advantage. For example, when the box of blood slides is found in Dokes' car, that's when the investigation turns around on him. If you believe Dexter is the real killer, You'd expect him to manipulate crime scene evidence and maybe even misdirect people who are getting close. So, putting it all together, the matching MO, the trophy slides, the docked boat, Lundy's suspicion, it paints a picture. You see, there's people walking around Miami and everybody knows about the Bay Harbor butcher. This theory raises serious doubt. Dokes might be the fall guy. Maybe the case was closed too cleanly. Maybe the real killer is still out there. Or maybe he's standing next to you, bumping elbows in the lab. Until someone brings the real evidence out in Miami Metro's cold case files, we're left with this. Dexter Morgan could have been the Bay Harbor butcher all along. And that, my friends, is a theory worth sleeping with one eye open. And that wraps up our deep dive into the mystery of the Bay Harbor butcher and the theory that Dexter Morgan himself could have been the real killer. Whether you buy into the theory or not, one thing's for sure, Dexter gave us one of the most fascinating blood-soaked mysteries in this history. And now, stepping out of all that for a second, this was actually my very first episode of The Evil Within. I've got plenty more lined up where we'll dig into the both real and fictional monsters, villains, and killers, and ask way too many nerdy questions and probably keep me from being invited to family gatherings. So, if you had fun listening, please stick around for more episodes. Maybe drop a follow or review. It seriously helps, and share it with that one friend who won't stop watching true crime docs at 3 a.m. Thanks again for listening to my first ever podcast. I'll see you next time, where we'll crack another case, shine a nerdy flashlight into the shadows, and probably make way too many bad jokes along the way. Until then, stay safe, stay spooky, and remember, don't accept boat rides from strangers in Miami.